You are right on time for Hope TV Newswatch on this 24th day of April 2024. A very good evening to you and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Gloria Musimbi and on the sign language interpretation is Boniface Mirithi. Now, Kenyans in various parts of the country are counting huge losses as heavy rains caused displacement of hundreds of residents, with those living in the informal settlements being the worst hit. The situation has now escalated to extreme levels, especially in Nairobi County, with the Kenya Meteorological Department issuing warnings for citizens to prepare for more heavy rainfall. According to Kenya Red Cross, on Wednesday morning, 18 individuals were rescued in Mradi Mathare area after becoming stranded by flood waters caused by the previous night's heavy rains. Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja has, however, assured the public that measures are being implemented to mitigate the effects of the ongoing heavy rains. Our very own Grace Ahati begins the bulletin with that report.
As heavy rains continue to wreak havoc in various parts of the country, the weatherman has now warned Kenyans to brace for more, with flooding being expected in low-lying areas, those in floodplains as well as in urban areas with poor drainage. The situation has reached critical levels in certain parts of the nation, with reports of extreme flooding emerging. Nairobi County in particular has been severely affected as residents walk up to flooded residences and businesses, impassable roads, and fallen trees following a night of relentless downpours. The impact of the weather was evident on major transportation routes as well, as sections of the Thika superhighway had to be shut down at the Juja flyover due to the floodwaters from Juja town obstructing the roadway. Additionally, Kenya Railways also had to halt their commuter rail services due to safety concerns posed by the adverse conditions. Speaking while meeting Nairobi County elected leaders and other officials, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua expressed concern over the devastating effects of the rains.
While the rains are good for production and food security, the negative impact of flash floods has been devastating. Houses have collapsed and washed away. Livelihoods have been destroyed. Nairobi, the city under the sun, has not been spared. Several estates are flooded as the limited drainage infrastructure is overstretched. It is even worse in areas where there is no infrastructure. Lives have been turned upside down.
Meanwhile, Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja also reassured residents that measures are being implemented to mitigate the consequences of the ongoing rainy season.
They have put their framework contractors on site, that they all go back to site to be able to sort out the flow of drainage within those roads. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on the brink of a humanitarian crisis in the city. We have a large-scale coordinated response, together also with our partners, Red Cross, and we urge the people of Nairobi to cooperate with authorities. We have mapped out areas where people need to be evacuated, and we will be evacuating those people. We had asked people to move, and many of those were not able to move.
This comes even as the Kenya Red Cross Society, in a statement on Tuesday, disclosed that at least 38 people have been killed by the floods across the country, noting that the flood situation is moving from emergency to disaster level. The humanitarian agency has noted that at least 23 counties across the country have been affected since the onset of the March-April-May rains, leaving more than 110,000 people homeless. To cushion the lives of citizens, government-led relief efforts are ongoing across all counties with support from humanitarian partners. Meanwhile, Kenyans have been advised to exercise caution during this rainy season to lessen the risks of the impacts of the rains. Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Grace Ahati.
Thank you, Ahati, for that report. Now, Machakos Governor Wavinya Ndeti has led a multi-agency team to rescue and evacuate hundreds of residents of Mavoko whose homes were marooned by floods following a heavy downpour Tuesday night. While urging all residents residing near or along the banks of River Athi to vacate and seek shelter in the earmarked rescue center, Governor Wavinya said the county government, in conjunction with the national government, will work together in streamlining development in various areas, noting that the majority of private developers had defied physical planning regulations. Dozens of families in Graceland Estate, Kasuitu, Kwamangeli and Kicheko slums were displaced and household property damaged by flash floods which swept through their homes.
Machakos County, we have been having issues from last week, but we have tried to do whatever we can with the national government disaster team and our team here. We have been working together to ensure that our people are well taken care of. The Athi River has broken the banks. This has not happened even for the last, I think, over 60 years. This has never happened. A lot of our people, especially in the slums, were submerged by water, and we're in the process of saving all of them. As I would say, we have the multi-agency team here involving Machakos County Emergency Response Team, the National Government Disaster Management Team, and the Red Cross. We are working together as a team to save our people, and here we have done very well.
Heavy rains continue to wreak havoc in various parts of the country. Kenyans have been cautioned against settling in riparian areas, citing the ongoing flooding in parts of Syokimau and Kinanie, where hundreds of residents have been displaced by flash floods. Machakos County boss Wavinya Ndeti said invasion of waterways was responsible for the flooding hazards and loss of lives. Speaking after calling in an emergency disaster response backup following heavy flooding in parts of Kinanie and Syokimau in Mavoko sub-county, Wavinya, who dispatched her roads, public works and housing minister Rita Ndunge alongside the county chief of staff Lawrence Ngovi, said her government will provide food, beddings and other basic commodities to the affected families at Kinanie Primary School, which has been earmarked for hosting those displaced.
Kuuliza wale watu wote wako katika Moto wa Mawe na Athi River along Kinanie Road, wote wahame waende mahali hakuna maji, kwa sababu sasa mto umefurika, uko karibu kufika katika hii barabara ya Kinanie, hata iko karibu kufika hapo Samora police station. Kwa hivyo nawauliza watu wetu wale wako along Athi River, tafadhali wote watoke wahamie huku juu mahali hakuna maji, na zile areas ziko na shida. Kwanza tumewaambia hiyo ya mto, tukiangalia Githunguri Zebra, pia huko kuna shida Kamulu, Mudhwani, Nzoiani, Syokimau 360 D disaster. Saa hii watu wamefungiwa kwa manyumba na maji. Tunajaribu kama county kufungulia hiyo maji itoke, na tumesema wale wamejenga karibu na mito wabomoe ukuta zao, ama sisi wenyewe tutakuja kubomoa, kwa sababu hakuna mtu akona ruhusa ya kujenga ukuta karibu na mto. Kule kwingine ni pale Kicheko slums, hiyo tunaenda kuangalia maneno ya drainage, FIFA estate, Katani, na hiyo nimewambia along Athi River. Kwa hivyo nauliza watu wetu wale wako karibu na mto wa Athi, tafadhali wahame waende hizi eneo za juu, kwa sababu kuna
President William Ruto has signed the Statute Law Amendments Bill at State House, Nairobi. This means that Utamaduni Day has now been renamed to Mazingira Day, marked on 10th of October. The October 10th holiday has undergone a series of changes, and Utamaduni Day replaced the long-observed October 10th holiday, transitioning from Moi Day, whose observance was discontinued over a decade ago. Retired President Uhuru Kenyatta led cabinet in December 2019 and approved changing its name to Huduma Day, which then became Utamaduni Day in 2020 to honor the nation's diverse cultural heritage. And with that, we take a short commercial break. Stay tuned for more news updates.
Do you remember?
Every day is a party. Other people in the station, yo, put your hands up. If you got a question, Jesus is the answer. I don't know another part.
Listen and live.
Mimi Angela nimeshanga sana, nilifikiri kubarikiwa ni kuwa na mali mingi, kumbe mimi nilijidanganya.
Listen and live.
Revolution. Ooh, ooh. That's the only part I'm good at singing. Ooh, ooh. Do you want a revolution? Ooh, ooh.
Story of hope. Listen and live. Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content, of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries, with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station, with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
Thank you for choosing Hope TV, the channel that brings you hope, entertainment, and inspiration. We value you and would like to serve you better. Talk to us by scanning this QR code on your screen, or go to our social media page at Hope TV Kenya and click on the survey link by the name Hope TV Survey. It will just take a few minutes but means the world to us. We value your feedback. Hope TV, look and live.
In order to keep hope alive in the airwaves, Hope Media has a couple of initiatives. Friends of Hope. Friends of Hope is you and I forming a team of well-wishers and volunteers who give in cash and kind to support in spreading the gospel at Hope Media. Currently, Hope Media is running a campaign under Friends of Hope dubbed 100 for 1. Through the campaign, Hope Media is asking Hope FM and Hope TV listeners and viewers to give just 100 shillings in order to reach one more soul with the message of hope and the gospel. Engage with us on our social media platforms at Hope FM Live and at Hope TV Kenya. Kuwa rafiki mso leo.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Now, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua says the government is ready to closely work with the church in the ongoing war against illicit brews, drugs and substance abuse. Speaking on Wednesday morning when he met with the Apostolic Nuncio in Kenya, Archbishop Habatus Van Meegen, at the official residence in Karen, the DP said the government has intensified the fight to save thousands of youth immersed in their social ills. On his part, Archbishop Habatus Van Meegen, the representative of the State of Vatican in the country, welcomed the government's efforts against illicit brews and other challenges, promising the church's support.
Out of the Christian population, 30% is Catholic. And Catholic Church is part and parcel of my life. Admittedly, your church has played a very significant role in the health sector and in the education sector. The church runs very many hospitals and clinics that are very, very, very successful. The mission hospitals supplement what the hospitals for the county government are doing. In my own county of Nyeri, where I come from, Mathari Mission Hospital has played a very significant role to the people. The Catholic Church has played a significant role in humanitarian interventions. Anytime we have had challenges in northern Kenya, northeastern Kenya, the Rift Valley, because of effects of climate change, the church has been very instrumental in giving relief food, in giving medicine, in giving antenatal care, helping mothers who are having challenges with pregnancy complications. The church has been very strong.
As you mentioned indirectly, but we couldn't do that also without the support of the government of Kenya. Without your support, for us as a church, even though we have many institutions, we are like, I think it is 40% of all health institutions are Catholic, while about 35% of all educational institutions are Catholic. We would not be able to fund those institutions completely on our own. If we would do so, we would have to increase fees so much that it would be impossible for the poor people to access those same services.
Elsewhere, the Institute of Certified Secretaries, ICS, is hosting their 28th Annual International Conference in Mombasa County. The three-day conference that started Wednesday is aimed at governance resilience in the light of economic crisis. Speaking during the conference, ICS CEO Jeremiah Karanja said that the economic challenges faced today is as a result of governance and challenged Kenyans to engage the right people in work output as a way of fighting corruption in the country. Our reporter Dole Mirigi Mbuvi now reports.
With the ongoing call of eradicating corruption in the country, Institute of Certified Secretaries, ICS CEO Jeremiah Karanja has called on the relevant institutions and Kenyans at large to curb the menace. The CEO was speaking in Mombasa during the 28th Annual International Conference.
Recognizing this threat, His Excellency the President therefore issued a proclamation on the fight against corruption, stating categorically that he will not tolerate corruption in the public service. Corruption erodes the benefits of effective governance. Fighting corruption and promoting good governance can only be successful if approached through a collective effort that demands the active participation and commitment of all stakeholders, including certified secretaries.
Katika nchi yetu tuko na shida hapa na pale katika mambo ya uadilifu. Unaona kama ni mambo ya corruption bado inaendelea, lakini unajua hata wewe wakati mwingine unakuwa mgonjwa, unaenda kwa daktari anakutibu, sio kumaanisha sababu ulitibiwa na daktari na kesho ukawa mgonjwa hautaenda kwa daktari tena. Kwa hivyo sisi tutaendelea kufanya kazi yetu. Kuna wale ambao watasikia na watabadilika. Hata wanajua wengine wetu hapa mnaenda katika kanisa, kwa msikiti, na kila wakati, kila Jumapili ama Ijumaa mnaambiwa vile mnahitaji kufanya. Kunao ambao wanabadilika, lakini kunao ambao wameamua hawatabadilika. So ile ya muhimu ni kuendelea kukumbusha watu vile ambavyo inafaa. Lakini pia tunaweza kusema tumeona mabadiliko kubwa.
With the move of the government to push to merge or fold up 140 parastatals, Karanja says that there's need to safeguard professions against quack for proper work efficiency.
When you engage somebody and they tell you they are a company secretary or they are board secretary and they are not qualified members of the Institute of Certified Secretaries, it's a tragedy that you are burdening on your organization. You require a professional who is trained, who is regulated, and who can be held accountable. So that if that professional is involved in any professional misconduct, then the professional body has a legal mandate to take disciplinary action against them. And therefore I want to plead with Kenyans, just make it a habit. Whatever kind of work you are doing, engage people who are qualified to do that, instead of looking for cheaper ways of doing things.
Dolly Mariki for Hope TV, Mombasa County.
Embu County Commissioner Jack Obuo has recommended that the national and county government should agree beforehand about how approvals for construction of affordable houses will be acquired to forestall delays in implementation. He said the requirement in the draft Affordable Housing Fund regulations that county governments must get the approval of their county assemblies before approving the commencement of building, which might be a bottleneck in the implementation of the program. According to Obuo, there needs to be the prior agreement of how the houses can be implemented quickly once sites have been identified for the public to start benefiting from the projects as early as possible.
I'm also seeing a problem of the nexus, the connection between the county governments and the national government bodies in far as land for the affordable housing will concern. Most of our facilities, whether they are police stations or even administrative lands, are still registered under the county governments. And yet now the regulations say the board cannot do anything until the counties give approval. My fear is that the counties will take either too long or some will not even support. We know that in this country there are some counties which are a bit slow in supporting national government projects. And given that this particular issue has had a lot of misunderstanding, we wanted to be assured that the county, the ministry and the Council of Governors has done enough deliberation so that when the public bodies under the national government will be seeking land, we don't have a lot of bottlenecks.
And on local sports news, more than 40 under-20 athletes from 5 counties, including West Pokot, Samburu, Elgeyo Marakwet, Uasin Gishu, and Trans Nzoia, are continuing their 5-day training camp at Chewoyet National High School in West Pokot County. The aim of the training camp is to foster security and harmony between the counties through the athletes. The training camp comes at a time when border conflict and insecurity is on the rise, causing unrest and fear to local residents. Joseph Loriwo, a trainer of the athletes camp, says that his intention is to ensure youth succeed in life through athletics, a situation that will reduce poverty from their families and to a large extent stop poaching and livestock theft. Now, further afield, Juventus booked their place in the Coppa Italia final in a dramatic fashion after the 3-2 aggregate win over Lazio. Arcadius Milik scored seconds after coming on as substitute in the 83rd minute to send the Old Lady through at the Stadio Olimpico. Lazio's Valentin Castellanos headed in after 12 minutes into the match in Rome before adding his second of the tie 3 minutes after halftime. Despite losing the second leg 2-1, Massimiliano Allegri's side progressed. After losing the first leg in Turin 2-0, Lazio were given hope of turning the semi-final around when Castellanos nodded home from a corner. And that story brings us to the end of our news bulletin tonight. Many thanks to you for tuning in to Hope TV Newswatch. Have a blessed night. My name is Gloria Musimbi, and on the sign language interpretation has been Boniface Mirithi.